The Rest Stop with Brad Restituto.
Come on! You know I gotcha! Yeah! Break the walls! Break down the walls!
Welcome to a Thursday edition of The Rest Stop, December 31st on the West Coast, 2020. If you're on the East Coast, you are now popping the bottles and celebrating the new year of 2021. We're coming to you live tonight on twitch.tv/Chris Landry Football, Brad the Believer Twitter page, Brad Restituto Facebook page, and joining me as always, Spencer the Wiz, Spencer Ostrowski, and we've got a really fun show for you we're hoping for tonight. We'd like to bring some people on, and if you're watching the show, joining the chat, I encourage you. We want to encourage friends, family, sports fans. Jump in the chat. Jump on the show with us live. All you got to do is email me personally, reststoppodcast@gmail.com. Facebook message, Twitter message me. You can leave your email if you feel comfortable in the chat. I'll send you a link, and you can pop right on to the studio in the show. Just jump on for a couple minutes. We'll wish you a Happy New Year. You wish us a Happy New Year, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, and give your hot sports take of 2021. So if you're just joining, jump in the chat, shoot your email. Let's have this show be as interactive as possible as we're rolling into the new year. If you're on the East Coast, you've already rolled into the new year. You're probably feeling yourself right now, like myself and Spencer the Wiz. We're live in Las Vegas. It's 9:01 here in Vegas, so we'll be celebrating the new year in a few hours. So we got a good show for you on tap tonight. Once we get our New Year's banter out of the way, we'll talk some sports. We'll give our Thursday picks as we do every Thursday for Week 17 here, wrapping up the regular season in the NFL. We'll talk some NBA towards the end of the show. But like I said, we want to start off the show tonight. If you're just joining us, Happy New Year on the East Coast. And I want to encourage friends, family, listeners, sports fans. I want to encourage you to be interactive and jump in the show tonight. We're going to have a few special friends, family, guests jump on. Say Happy New Year. Give us your bold sports prediction for 2021. And we'll shoot the breeze a little bit here on the Rest Stop tonight as we're really excited to be wrapping up 2020. It's been a good year. The Rest Stop started off here in 2020, and we're going to talk about some things towards the end of the show also that we're going to do into the new year to make the show better, a little more entertaining, as we've definitely gone through the motions here in the last few months with NFL, being heavy NFL and talking basketball. But we're going to do a lot more fun stuff into the new year. We're going to add more to the Brad the Believer YouTube channel. So make sure you stay tuned, and thanks for the people that have continued to listen throughout the way here. Without further ado, let me bring on my main man, Spencer the Wiz. Follow him on Twitter @Spencer the Wiz. Spence, Happy New Year, my friend. We've done it here at the Rest Stop, and for you personally, not only have you been a key contributor to this podcast, but you've done a lot of great things on your own. You finished college here in this year. You've taken on a lot of different tasks and jobs on your plate to diversify your resume, enhance your experience in the radio and sports world, and you've built your connections. So it's been quite the eventful 2020 for you, Spence. As you take just a few minutes to reflect on the year, what are some personal highs for you as Spencer the Wiz? And maybe if you can pick out one or two sports moments that have been your favorite into this year, 2020, as wild as it's been, as we're moving in to the new calendar year.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot to think about for this year. You know, started off probably at a really low point in my life, kind of down in the dumps, not doing so good. I met Brian Feldman, obviously. This was a little over a year ago, who kind of just gave me an opportunity to do what I love. I obviously went to school. I finished accounting. I was quite good at it and good with numbers, but wasn't happy doing it, along with many other things going on. But I got that shot. I got an internship with Fox Sports Radio, and everything kind of exploded from there. I know this was a tumultuous year for many people, but for me, it was a blessing. It was nothing short of just pure luck for the most part. But I took that opportunity and I ran with it. I now have my own radio show. It is on a small AM station, but not a lot of people my age, I can say, probably have their own radio show broadcasting live in Las Vegas. So that's really big for me. And it's just made me extremely hungry. You know, I've been lucky to be a part of this podcast. I produced for another one of starting a pseudo. I'm starting a pseudo TV network with one of the clients who I met. Things I would just never thought that could be. You know, when I was in my low point in life, if I go back in time and talk to myself about it and talk about all these opportunities, I probably wouldn't believe myself. So for the most part, I'm just thankful for my health, for my family's health. And I'm excited to see where it takes me in 2021. This will be the first, full calendar year where I have an opportunity to do stuff like this. And you just never know what's going to happen. But I don't know, everyone just stay strong. Positive attitude will take you a long way. It's kind of like my big takeaway, because opportunity often comes knocking at the door, and you just got to be ready for it when it happens.
Great stuff. That's Spencer Ostrowski, better known as Spencer the Wiz. Follow him on Twitter at Spencer the Wiz. Spence, that was good stuff right there, my man. I'm so happy to have you a part of this podcast and being my friend as well. I've told you that before, but I can't say it enough. I'm really excited to jump into the new year with you on this and doing some new stuff. I'm so happy for the direction you're going. You're shooting up like a skyrocket as far as I'm concerned, and I'm hoping we can get back on the basketball court once some of this COVID stuff and vaccine comes out, and we can really be not only build our relationship professionally, but our basketball, our friendship, and we can just elevate into 2021. That's something that I'm hoping for, and I'm very appreciative for all you've done for this show. I appreciate you being a great friend, and I'm really excited. I had a good day today. I'm really looking forward to hitting the reset button and starting this new year. If you're just joining us, the Rest Stop podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, live 9 o'clock Pacific time. I encourage anybody listening right now, friend, family, sports fan, jump in. We want you on the podcast tonight, right now. I want you to say Happy New Year. I want you to give us your hottest sports take of 2021. Check your email if we've already talked. If we have not talked, give us your email address. You can put it in the chat if you feel comfortable. You can message me personally. You can DM me on Twitter at Brad the Believer, Facebook message me, whatever. All we do is we'll send you a link. You click the link on your phone, on your computer. It'll shoot you right into the studio. We'll bring you on board, and we'll talk live on the Rest Stop podcast. So we'd love to have you tonight. We're going to have some special guests, we hope, before the end of the show, and some hot sports takes. Some Happy New Year to everybody on the East Coast listening. Happy New Year to you. As it's kicked off now, it's probably 12:07 Eastern time, and we're in 2021. We've put 2020 behind us, myself and Spencer here in Las Vegas. We are waiting for the new year in just a few hours. And look, I know there's going to be some things that stay the same, but it's about the mindset. Really, everything is. The whole COVID thing, everything has been about how we react to what's happening around us. So it's not necessarily like anything's going to change, but it definitely gives each and every one of us a new opportunity to hit that reset button mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and start over and really be in this thing together for this new year. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, your former coworkers, the people in your grocery store, your community, your bank. We all have to stick together and fight the good fight together and have each other's back, and realize the people that don't give a crap about us, the politicians, and really have each other's back moving forward to really get not only the economy back on its feet, to get our friends, family, people in our community, uplift their spirits, give them some hope, some positivity, some compassion as we're moving into 2021. Dave, if you want to jump in, would love to have you, man. Anybody just joining the show, this is the Rest Stop. We are live on New Year's Eve. Myself and Spencer the Wiz are here in Las Vegas. If you're out on the East Coast, I encourage anybody, friends, family, sports fans, shoot us your email, guys. We want you to jump on the podcast live tonight. We're going to wish you a Happy New Year, and we want your hot sports take of 2021. Sports needs to, let's do this. Jump in. Private message me, Numchuck, Dave Perry right now. Numchuck, I know you want to give a hot take on AEW last night, the farewell to Luke Harper. Jump in my DM, shoot your email. We will send you the link. We'll shoot you into the show right now. Let's do this. It's 2020. We're ending 2021 already for some on the East Coast. Let's go out with a bang here on the Rest Stop. If you're listening right now, shoot me a direct message with your email. I'll send you a link. All you have to do is click that link on your phone or computer. We'll shoot you right in. It's so simple. We want to have you on the Rest Stop on this last show of 2020. And we're going to go out with a bang. It's going to be a great show. We're going to give you passion, energy, good sports information, and we want to include anybody that's listening. So message me, shoot your email wherever you feel comfortable. You guys know how to get a hold of me. We will shoot you a link right away, and you can jump right in. So, Spence, come back in here, and you told us about what's going on with you personally and all the great achievements you're doing. If you could think about it, tell me real quick, one of your fondest or your most delightful sports memories of 2020.
I wish I could give out a few, but every single team that I support is just terrible now. I'm a Cubs fan, I'm a Grizzlies fan, I'm a Raiders fan. I should be saying right now that I'm very happy about the drafting of CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, but of course that wasn't taken either. I don't know. I guess I'm happy the Houston Astros did not win the World Series. That is my highlight for 2021. Bunch of cheaters don't get rewarded. So that's my happiest moment. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Well, the Raiders are terrible. They're the worst team in the league as far as I'm concerned.
What about John Moran getting underway with the Grizz?
You're right. That's a good one. He definitely carried the torch when it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies. So then he just got hurt now. So that's a great way to end 2020. But yeah, sure, that's a great one because the Grizzlies got lucky not to draft Zion Williamson. In my opinion.
Okay, maybe. If not personally, what was one of the more exciting sports moments to watch? Is it the Super Bowl?
James. It's got to be LeBron James winning one for the Lakers, the most storied franchise of all time. Kobe just passed away. That's a good one for sure. That's even though a lot of people hate LeBron James, I think it's cool that he was able to do that for he was just able to everybody who doubted him. He just goes to the biggest franchise in sports history and just wins a championship in year 2. That's impressive, in my opinion. So I think that's worth a happy little gaze at.
Spence, how about some of the playoff action last year as the 2020 playoffs started, 2019, 2020, and the Chiefs, who were down double digits in both playoff games and having to come back.
I'm not really happy about the Chiefs. I'm a Raiders fan. I hate the Chiefs.
I'm just saying as a sports fan.
I can't be happy watching them play football. You're asking me to do something impossible here. It disgusted me every single minute of the whole way.
There you have it. Spencer the Wiz can't even enjoy any sports if any team he hates is not doing well. Well, Spence, in 2020 for me, I have denounced the Vikings as my favorite team. So in 2021, when we revamp the show a little bit, this purple going on in the background will be gone. We will have a new intro to the rest stop in 2021, which will have the Vikings highlights out of it. And we'll be playing some Buffalo Bills highlights as they continue to win throughout the playoffs. It's going to be a great 2021, ladies and gentlemen, as the rest stop will be new and improved in a little bit of a way. A lot will stay the same, but we'll be having on more guests. We'll be doing more fun stuff. It won't be just straight sports talk for 1 hour. So looking forward to ringing in the new year and doing some small changes to the podcast here to make it a little more engaging and entertaining as opposed to myself and Spence's amazing sports picks every week. So there you have it. And Spence, speaking of sports picks, we are coming into week 17 in the NFL season here, and we don't have our updated record. We had a good month of November. Here in the last couple weeks, we fell off a little bit. It's been some tough games to handicap, but I say we get into it, and we'll kind of take this 1-2 minutes at a time. We'll see what happens with some of our guests that want to jump in. Once we see that they've clicked the link and they've joined us in the studio, we may cut out of the picks, talk to them, and go back to the picks. But for right now, we'll get into our week 17, the last week of the NFL season. Myself, Spencer the Wiz, will give the picks against the spread, and tonight will be against the William Hill lines, the William Hill app, and of course all the William Hill sports books here in the great city of Las Vegas. So we'll get into week 17 picks. Myself, Spencer the Wiz.
Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater.
Spencer the Wiz, sorry about that, my man. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Week 17, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying that last month it was a record-setting month for sports handicappers or the casinos. They won the most amount of money for sports betting. So I don't think we're too far off. I think it was happening kind of everywhere.
Well, there you go. And look, if you're just joining us here on the Rest Stop, I want to encourage friends, family, sports fans. All you got to do is drop your email in my Facebook Messenger, text me in the chat if you feel comfortable on Facebook, DM me your email, and we'll send you a link. We want you on the show live tonight, New Year's Eve here in Las Vegas. We want your hot sports take of 2021, whatever that may be. Wish you a happy new year, and happy new year to everybody on the East Coast. So if you're just joining us right now, jump in if you want to jump on the show. It'll only be a couple minutes. We won't keep you too long. You can leave at any time. We just want to get you on, get you in just for a minute or two and talk a little sports just for a minute. Happy New Year. And then you can bounce out. Won't even take 2 minutes. If you're interested, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, whatever you have to do with your email address, and we'll get on that tonight. But for now, Spence, we'll get into it. Week 17 picks. Let's start off in New York, MetLife Field. This one, Dallas is looking to get into the playoffs as the winner of the NFC East. They are a 1.5-point favorite in New York against the Giants. Spence, I'm going to go ahead and go Dallas again. I think Dallas comes full circle. They get the win and find themselves possibly in the playoffs if Washington loses to Philly. It's a short number. New York has not played as well here lately. Give me Dallas -1.5.
I like Dallas too. We knew this is how their offense should have looked all season. This is no secret or anything like that. They have some of the best offensive weapons in the league thanks to the Raiders drafting the wrong guy. So the fact they have CeeDee Lamb on their team, they still have Ezekiel Elliott, still got Michael Gallup, who I'm a pretty big fan of. This is a very short line. Again, divisional game, so you got to be careful with that, but you just got to stick with your gut, and my gut definitely says Dallas in a blowout.
Yeah, we're on the same page there, Spence. In Cleveland for the next matchup, the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Last night, that line was 9.5. Some more COVID positives for Cleveland. They had to shut down the facility again. Today, they tried to get a practice in. That line went from 9.5. Today, it's 9 for Cleveland. Mason Rudolph will get to start for Pittsburgh, the backup quarterback, who in some of his performances has not looked good at all. But remember the last time he was in the lineup against Cleveland, that helmet incident with Myles Garrett, it was a big deal. The Steelers are terrible without Ben. They're probably terrible with Ben. But who do I go with here, Spence? You know I hate both of these teams, so I'll let you start it off.
I don't think Cleveland can beat any team by 10 points, period. So the fact they're playing a division rival, I hate Rudolph. I think he's a terrible quarterback, but still, I just don't trust it that much. I'm going to take the Steelers here.
Yeah, Spence, you know I hate both teams, man, so I don't know what to do here. I can't pass, even though I want to. I still stand by. Steelers gone, first round of the playoffs. I'm looking forward to either making a futures bet on the Bills or betting the Bills and parlaying my money over every week. They will win 3 games and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing who the Chiefs play after their bye so I can bet against them as they get knocked out in the first round. But I've got to go with – since the Steelers are already in the playoffs, and I can't change that, the Browns, and I've been harsh on Kevin Stefanski and the Browns organization as a whole because they are the Browns, not necessarily Stefanski. If you've listened to my critiques of him, it's not that I think he's a failure. I think he's way overhyped, and I don't like that. And I think the Cleveland Browns are still the Cleveland Browns, and I think they find a way to not make the playoffs. I'm going to go Steelers plus the 9 and a little bit on the money line. Browns don't make the playoffs after losing to a 1-win Jets team, and they've screwed themselves, and the Steelers find a way to knock them out of the playoffs. And Kevin Stefanski, getting all that love 2 weeks ago for Coach of the Year, now looks like a dunce as his team found a way to blow it again as the Cleveland Browns and don't find their way in the playoffs. So, Spence, get this clip ready and get ready to fire it next week. Okay? Because the Cleveland Browns are going to show you why they're the Dukies, the Dookie Browns, and they're going to shit the bed again like they always do. And that's just a fact, whether you like it or not, and I'm rooting for it to happen. So the 1 week in my life I will root for the garbage Steelers will be week 17 where nothing matters for the Steelers. They're going to the playoffs, but the Browns can find a way to blow it. And it's not that I hate the Browns team.
It seems like you do.
Here, Spence, let me lay the picture for you. As a former disgruntled Vikings fan, going in last year, the Vikings were riding high off a wild card playoff win in New Orleans against the Saints. So they go to San Francisco the next week in the divisional round. Kevin Stefanski took the interview during that week of practice to interview for the Browns head coaching job. So what happens on game day?
There it is. now we figured it all out.
Yes,
Full circle here. I knew there was a reason you hated the Browns. Here it is. It took 17 weeks, but we finally found the truth.
So the Vikings travel to San Francisco in the divisional round to take on the 49ers. The Vikings stay close in that game because of a big Eric Kendricks interception. And the Vikings went on to have a second half in a game where they had less than 6 first downs, and their offense was awful. And even though they couldn't run the ball, you still had Diggs and Thielen. And I know that San Francisco had an amazing defense last year, but it was unexcusable how bad that offense and that offensive play calling was. And who was the offensive coordinator and play caller? Kevin Stefanski. How long had Kevin Stefanski been in that Vikings organization? Well over a decade. What have they ever done with Stefanski on that coaching staff? Nothing. What did they do after they had that Minneapolis Miracle 3 years ago? I kept saying, it does not matter what you do in the wild card game if you do not keep winning. The next week, the Vikings, because actually the Vikings had a bye that year. The next week, they were in the NFC Championship game with an opportunity to beat the Nick Foles-led Philadelphia Eagles after that Minneapolis Miracle Stephon Diggs had about 4 years ago. And they would have been the first team in NFL history to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. What happened? They got off to a 7-0 lead, and then the Eagles went on to blitz them. And I don't know the final score, but it was about 45-7 or 45-10, something like that. Point being, the Vikings have done nothing while Kevin Stefanski hasn't been a part of that offensive organization. And everybody wants to now transition by the optics of it. He's good looking. He's a son of Ed Stefanski, GM of front office guy of the New York Knicks. He's a Penn grad, Ivy League. This guy, he's got the total package. Andrew Berry, he's hired. The Browns culture. All I've heard for 17 weeks is the Browns culture and the new Browns under Kevin Stefanski. I can't wait to see all these jackasses that keep jumping on the Browns talk about that Browns culture and Kevin Stefanski with egg on their face, because you cannot tell me anything if the Browns implode and do not make the playoffs that they lose this game. It'll be one of the most epic playoff disasters ever. And I want all these hot takes of Kevin Stefanski and the Browns culture to come if they lose this game. Everything is riding on this game for 2020. And I can't wait to watch it happen. If the Browns win, we'll see them get bounced the first round of the playoffs. Next game, Spencer the Wiz. AFC West. The Jets have won 2 in a row. Travel to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Patriots a 3-point favorite. Kind of a head scratcher here, Spence. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. Can the Patriots win a football game right now? And obviously the Jets, still care about winning football games for some reason. I guess as they should. I think they have the second pick locked in, if I'm not mistaken. So the Jets probably win this game. I don't see why they don't. Is it weird to say that? That's the first time this entire season where I've really said the Jets should win this football game. I see no reason the Patriots are going to run up and down on them, at least.
I'm with you, Spence. I say the Jets win it outright, plus the 3. Look, if you're just joining us, Happy New Year's to everybody on the East Coast. If you're here on the West Coast, if we talked earlier, check your email, check your link. We want to invite you on to the Rest Stop Podcast live tonight. If you're just joining us, jump on into the show. We want your hot sports take of 2021. We won't keep you long, just 2 minutes. Jump in. We'll talk for a minute. We'll shoot some Happy New Year's festives, and then you can jump right out. Just shoot your email to me personally on Facebook Messenger, text me, or on Twitter, and we'll send you a link, and you can jump right in the show on your phone, on your computer, whatever. So jump in. The Rest Stop Podcast live tonight, 9 to 10 o'clock on this New Year's Eve. Spencer the Wiz, at Spencer the Wiz, Brad the Believer, at Brad the Believer. Follow us on all of our social media as we're going over our Week 17 picks right now. And if you want to be part of the show, let's do it. Jump in. Give us your hot sports take. And I don't mean just in the chat. We want you live. We want to see your feed on your phone, on your computer. Jump into the studio with us. All you have to do is drop your email, and we will send you a link to jump into the studio and join us live, audio, visual on the podcast as we're wrapping up the Rest Stop for 2020, jumping into 2021. Spence, we're going to continue our Week 17 picks, and we're now going to go to Detroit. In an NFC North matchup, both of these teams have absolutely nothing to play for. And who's played worse the last 3 weeks out of these two teams? The Vikings and the Lions. The Vikings will be without Dalvin Cook, as he's taking care of some family issues back in Miami. His father's passed away, and that's very sad news, and our thoughts are with Dalvin Cook and his family. Also, Minnesota will be out without starting left tackle Riley Reiff, as I believe he's come down COVID positive. So Rashad Hill will be the starting left tackle for the Vikings, and the Vikings will be starting, I believe, third-string running back Alex Boone, who, if you don't know the Vikings well, you were saying, who the hell is Alex Boone? Well, he played college football at the University of Cincinnati. He got some playing time last year in the season finale against the Bears, and he ran the ball very well in a losing effort. Alex Boone can do some things if they block for him. And Detroit defense stinks, so Alex Boone might be good. Spence, you're seeing that there. Send Vic a link. We'll have Vic jump into the show, and we'll shoot some festivities for him for Happy New Year's, and we'll get his hot sports take. Anybody else that wants to jump in, this is the Rest Stop's final episode of 2020. We want you to jump into the show live on your phone, on your computer. All you have to do is give us your email. You can text me personally. If you don't want to put your email in the chat, you could private message me on Facebook, on Twitter, and we will shoot you a link. And all you got to do is click the link, and we'll jump you right in the show, and we'll talk to you. And that's what we want to do here on this New Year's Eve edition of the Rest Stop as we're going into 2021. We're really excited about it. Myself, Spence the Wiz, right now we're giving Bravo. We already sent you an email. Check it. Spence, am I correct?
Yep, I sent it.
Sent it. It's sent. So both of you click and jump in. We're giving our Week 17 picks. We give our picks every single week against the spread on Thursdays. Right now, we're talking Minnesota, Detroit. Spence, without Dalvin Cook, that we know how bad this defense is. God, who's the lesser of two evils with these two teams? You got to start this one off.
What's the line at?
6.5, Vikings favored.
Oh, Lord. I guess you just got to take the Lions. They could win this football game. So it's kind of up in the air right now. No Dalvin Cook. I could definitely see a reality where the Vikings just kind of take over. But as long as Matthew Stafford's playing and, they're relatively healthy, there's no reason they can't either stay in the game or win it outright.
I agree with you. Guys, check your email. Spencer the Wiz sent you an email. Check it, click the link, and let's do this thing here on New Year's Eve. It's 9:27 here in Las Vegas. Everybody on the East Coast are already celebrating the New Year. We want you to join the show tonight, and tonight only. Anybody and everybody, sports fans, friends, family, I want you on the show, not just in the chat. We want you. We want to send you a link. All you got to do is click that link on your phone. You will be a live participant in the podcast. We will have you in our studio waiting, and once I see that you're in there, we'll click you right in. We'll introduce you. It's all good. So jump right in. Don't be afraid. Let's do this. As we're talking about our bold sports predictions for 2021, myself and Spencer the Wiz are talking our Week 17 NFL picks as we're rolling into the playoffs a week from today with this new playoff format. It'll be 14 teams total. Only 2 teams, one in each conference, get that first round bye. And everybody else, their season is either one and done. It's on the line. Our next games for Week 17, Spence, the Atlanta Falcons in an NFC South matchup. They travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks are trying to position themselves more for the playoffs. Atlanta, I still think they stink, but they find ways to play tough here lately. That line was 6.5 yesterday. It's now 7. A flat 7. Tampa Bay favored on the William Hill app. What do you think, Spence? Falcons, Bucks.
Gosh, I'm going to take the Buccaneers here, but Victor, I said your email was wrong, so maybe you spelled it wrong in the chat. I think I spelled it right. I just checked a couple times, and Brian, I did send you that email, so hopefully you did get that new one. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Bucs are hitting their stride at the right time, and a lot of that comes from the leadership of Tom Brady. The Falcons are really trying to just home it in. They did play a competitive game against the Chiefs, so you got to give it to them. I don't know. I mean, what are the chances that the Falcons string 2 good games together? It's got to be close to nothing if this season's anything to go by.
Yeah, Spence. So you're on the Bucs here?
I am on the Buccaneers here.
With it being a divisional matchup, I'm going to go Atlanta. I'm going to go Falcons here. I'm going to go Falcons +7. So we're a little bit on the offensive side here, or on the opposite sides here. But I think in a divisional matchup, it stays close. We've got our first participant in the Rest Stop New Year's Eve edition, Brian Bravo with his Met shirt. Welcome to the Rest Stop, Brian Bravo. How you doing, my friend?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year. from my
Happy-
family, your family, you know, she picks the Bucks to go all the way just because she thinks that Tom Brady's good looking. I don't know that he's that good looking. I mean, he's pretty hot. Yeah, but still. But I tell you what, this 2021, my Astros, Verlander's coming back. They're going all the way. And that's all I got to say, man. And Spence, I love you. We need more information about your Friday show, but where's the Baby Yoda in the background?
I don't have one. You got to send it to me. You said you would. I'm waiting for you to give it to me.
Oh, Spence is calling the Bravo out.
Brian Bravo, ladies and gentlemen. I believe his favorite sport, his favorite team is the Houston Astros. He's definitely an enormous baseball fan. He likes baseball more than any other sports. And all the listeners out there, check out Brian Bravo's hair because it's dark jet black. And Brian Bravo, he does not use any hair products.
This is what happens when you drink too much tequila.
He uses no hair products, and that hair is jet black. He doesn't dye it or anything. 50 years old. Look how black his hair is, Spence.
No, I will not be there. I'll be bald by the time that rolls around. That's for sure.
All right, I had to mute you, Bravo. Okay, you're back up.
The Bucks. Just Jen. She said the Bucks is going all the way next year. Oh, this year.
I believe in Tom Brady, but because I used to live in Massachusetts and had to be a Pats fan. But Brian the other day comes, he's in the bathroom and he screams for me like he's dying. And I come in and he goes, "What the hell is this?" He's got one gray hair on his beard. And
anyway, we're talking about something else. Well, anyway, she loves the Bucks. You know, she loves your show. Hey, guys, great show. Let's keep it going. Hey, thanks for being live tonight. But hey, listen, before I let you guys go, hey, Spence, this is towards you. Are you ready? Me and you.
Okay.
We're gonna be hosting for about a week or so, and Brad can just sit on his ass and do whatever. I don't care.
I'll follow your. You tell me what you want to talk about. I'll make the graphics for it.
You guys know the parameters here, right? The Steelers have to win the Super Bowl for this to happen. You don't actually think that's a possibility, do you, Spence?
Ryan's going crazy.
You're on mute, Bravo. We can't hear you. Make this. This is classic. Bravo's losing his mind, but nobody can hear him. It's fantastic.
The Steelers are probably not going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, the Steelers. I think he's right. The Steelers have to make the Super Bowl. It's just that they make the Super Bowl. Bravo, you're still on mute. Nobody can hear you. All right, stick around though, Bravo. We'll keep you on mute. We'll keep you there. The audience can watch you lose your mind in the background while we're waiting for Victor to join the Rest Stop Live every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 o'clock Pacific time. Stick around, Bravo. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. The next game, Spence, the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Baltimore playing for everything, Cincinnati playing for nothing. And Baltimore is a 12-point favorite in this matchup. I think Baltimore rolls here, even though it's a little bit tricky because Cincinnati's been playing tough the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. When Baltimore plays desperate, they actually do play really well. Unfortunately, they can't keep that same mentality going throughout these weeks of football. So, yeah, I think the Bengals are riding way too high for this one to be perfect. It seems almost too easy to take the Bengals, so I'm just going to take the Ravens, and I feel pretty comfortable that they can make it happen.
Yeah, we're on the same side there. Next matchup, Spence. The Miami Dolphins travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. That line was 2 yesterday. It is now 3 after the news that Ryan Fitzpatrick tested positive for COVID-19. Now Brian Flores does not have his bullpen ace, Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's got to be Tua Tagovailoa the whole way. Jake Rudock, former Michigan quarterback, is going to be serving as the backup in this game for the Dolphins. The Bills are going to sit Diggs early. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty confident. I've got to look at my depth charts to see. I'm actually not sure who backs up Josh Allen in Buffalo, surprisingly. But Josh Allen's not going to be playing much more than a quarter. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Dolphins here plus the 3, playing for their playoff lives.
I think this is going to be too easy. I think they ride high. I know I've been saying I don't believe in the Dolphins, and it's funny to say that because they keep winning football games, but still, it just seems too picture perfect for me. And I think Buffalo is just on a different kind of level of playing football right now, and I don't think the Dolphins are going to be the ones to stop them. So I'll take the Bills -3 here.
Opposite sides here. Brian Bravo, you're back. We're back in live, and for everybody just joining us, we want you to jump in. We want you to jump into the Rest Stop Live. Shoot us your email. If you don't feel comfortable doing it in the chat, direct message me on Facebook, on Twitter, text me my personal number. All you got to do is send your email address. We'll send you a link, and we'll get you right in to the show. We want your hot sports take of 2021 coming up. Wish you a happy new year. Our next guest joining us live, my main man, Victor Cervantes. Vic, what's happening, brother?
What's up, bro? How y'all doing? Happy New Year's, guys.
Good. Happy New Year, Vic. Vic, I know you're a Giants fan, my man. What do you think about the Giants? I know it's a rough year for them, but what do you think their future looks like with Daniel Jones as the quarterback?
That's a rough one. The guy's mediocre. He's not what I expected at all.
All right, Bravo's shaking his head over there. Brian Bravo, what do you think?
No, Jones can't hang on to the rock. I mean, if he drops back and he's a drop back passer, he's good. Put Colt McCoy in, he won't drop the ball. You can't put Daniel Jones, Sammy Dimes cannot hold on to the ball one way or another.
100%.
Okay, Vic, what do you think about that?
He needs offensive line. Bottom line, like if you're gonna be a pocket passer, you need an offensive line.
Vic, give us your hot sports take of 2021. Tell me something that's going to happen in the sports world in 2021 that no one expects.
Well, I think that the Raiders might surprise people next year, for sure. They have a lot of holes to fill in the defensive side, but the offense seems pretty solid. I mean, the offensive line is hella solid.
Vic, tell us what's going on with you personally. Me and Victor used to work together at TPC Summerlin Golf Course. Vic is a fine chef. Vic, don't you have some stuff in the works with your career as a chef? Tell the listeners of the Rest Stop what's going on with you personally, man. Talk to us, Vic.
I'd rather not right now because
okay.
I can't really. But when it comes out.
Keep us posted when you can.
Right. If this COVID thing, doesn't screw it up, hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it just disappears next year. But, we're all struggling in this industry that I'm in. I mean, that's for sure. And a lot of people are being affected by this virus. And my prayers go out to all of them, to everyone that's been affected by it. As far as the sports world goes, like I think that I've been the most impressed with the Buffalo Bills. They have stepped their game up big time on so many levels. Like I never saw that one coming. But unfortunately, I think that the Kansas City Chiefs might repeat it.
It's going to be interesting to find out. The Chiefs have not covered a spread in 8 weeks. But hey, Vic, I appreciate you jumping on for a little bit, man. Let's stay in touch. I love you, brother. And I want to wish you a happy new year. And I'm looking forward to all of us getting through this COVID thing and coming out on the other side, man. I want to thank you. And I want you to know I love you, brother. And happy new year.
Happy New Year's, guys. I those biscuits, are those.
All right, Bravo. We'll take you off.
She just made them.
She just made them. Astros take Game 6, Verlander on the hill. That's it. In LA against the Dodgers. That's what's going to happen next year. Kiss my ass. Sorry.
Bravo, what the hell? Why is your girlfriend making biscuits at 12:39 New York time?
Because I ate all the tamales.
Okay. Is it appropriate of me if I say your girlfriend makes some nice biscuits?
That's Brian Bravo. That's Victor Cervantes. I'm Brad Restituto. That's Spencer the Wiz. This show, Vic, we'll catch you later, brother.
Later, bro.
This show is going off the rails a little bit. Brian Bravo's got biscuits in his hand right now. I don't know what's happening, but we've got to continue our pick segment. Spencer the Wiz, if you're just joining us, jump on to the Rest Stop podcast tonight. Shoot us your email. We'll shoot you a link. We'll jump you right on. Just like Victor did, just like Brian Bravo did right here. Next game, Spence, Jacksonville I don't know. Urge Pat. It's a good question. I am no longer a Vikings fan, by the way, just so you know. But Pat, we're encouraging everybody, jump on the show live. Urge Pat, send us your email, either Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, text me. We want everyone to join live tonight. We'll send you a link. Jump right on. You can ask me that question live on the air. We'll zoom you in just like Brian Bravo right here as we're doing our Week 17 pick segment. This is the last rest stop episode of 2020 as we move into 2021. Linder, jump in, man. Jump in. Shoot me, text me, DM me your email. Jump on the show for 2-3 minutes live. Talk. Patrick Linder is a huge Packers fan. He could talk about Aaron Rodgers, and now he doesn't have to dog on Mike McCarthy anymore because Matt LaFleur is slowly sliding under the radar as one of the hot new coaches in the league right now. Spence, send Pat the link here as if he's got a few minutes, we'll jump him on the show live here. Bravo, I'm going to unmute you here as we get into the next game. What's happening, Bravo? What's going on over there?
This question is for Spence. Spence, do you think Trevor Lawrence should sit out this year? He's another senior year. He doesn't want to go to Jacksonville. Who the hell wants to go play for Jacksonville? He has another senior year. He can take it easy. Debo Sweeney can go anywhere else. If I were him, I would say, you know what? Hey, John Elway, he was supposed to go to the Colts. He sat out. He said, I don't want to go. What do you think?
Yeah, but Jacksonville's going to be just as bad next year. They'd be the same first overall pick. He would have wasted a year of his life just to go to the same team. What do you think, they're going to win more than one game next season? No way.
Patrick Linder, check your email. We're sending you a link. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you downloading the Twitch app and support me, man. I'm looking forward to having you on. If you could jump on here tonight, Pat Linder is like I said, a Packers fan. He's definitely got some great sports knowledge. It'll be fun to shoot a little bit with him as we're getting into the end of 2020. This is the last rest stop of 2020. Spencer the Wiz. Brian the Biscuit Eater Bravo is in the chat here. Who could have guessed it, Spence? We've got to continue our games here. We're going off the rails. We probably won't hit NBA tonight the way this is going as it's starting to heat up a little bit here. But we've got Tennessee at Jacksonville at Indianapolis, the next game. Indianapolis, 14-point favorites. As Bravo stated, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick. Jacksonville has completely mailed it in at this point, as Doug Marrone will not be the coach next year. Indy fighting for a playoff berth, but you've got to lay 14 points. The only win on the season by the Jaguars was to this Indianapolis Colts team. What are your thoughts, Spence? 14 points. Are you laying it?
That's a good point. No, I am, because the Colts are not going to have two goose eggs of a game against Jacksonville. That's just way too embarrassing. I know it doesn't matter if the Jacksonville Jaguars win or lose because they still get Trevor Lawrence either way, but absolutely 100% the Colts are going to blow them out. Yeah,
I'm going to lay the big number here. Give me the Colts minus 14. Patrick Linder, perfect timing as we're talking about your Green Bay Packers travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. Green Bay wants to lock up that number 1 overall seed. The Bears are 5.5-point underdogs. But Magic Mitch Trubisky is 1-2 in a row. Perfect timing, Linder. Let's bring him on. Joining us now, Patrick Linder. Linder, devoted Green Bay Packers fan. He has his Bucks Milwaukee sweater on. Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us on the rest stop.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. Happy New Year.
I've never had a Mets fan clap me.
Can you believe this clown? Brian Bravo, I know you know who this jabroni is. Look at him.
Jabroni. You just went jabroni. You went full Italian on me, player.
Dude, he's got biscuits. He's eating biscuits live on the radio right now. Look at this guy. He's not drinking tequila. He's eating biscuits at 12:44 New York time. It's unbelievable.
What is that, syrup or what is that?
It's honey.
He doesn't know what it is. It's
honey.
It's tequila infused honey is what it is.
Why are we talking about that when the Packers are obviously the best team in the NFL? Maybe behind the Chiefs, maybe.
Well, that's the next game we were talking about. Linder, I've got to ask you. You know the Packers as well as anybody. Not a lot of people.
I don't know about that.
But look, as far as a fan goes, okay, and look, the Packers. Not a lot of people have been talking about Aaron Rodgers the last year. They've been talking about Jordan Love early in the year, getting drafted in the second round. What does Aaron Rodgers do? He's decided.
He got drafted in the first round.
First round, and the Packers decided. Aaron Rodgers decided he's going to do a weekly radio hit on Pat McAfee's show on Mad Dog Sports, and then he's went ahead to jump on the field and throw 44 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which is incredible numbers. And the Packers keep winning. It doesn't matter who they draft. Devontae Adams has positioned himself as in the conversation of a top 2, top 3 receiver in the entire league. Unfortunately, some bad news today, as in practice, $100 million lineman David Bakhtiari is now gone for the year with a knee injury. I don't think that's going to stop Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. A down year for Aaron Rodgers is a career year for most. I don't think, even though it sucks to lose Bakhtiari, I think the Packers have as much momentum after embarrassing Tennessee on primetime on this past Sunday night. Talk about how good you think the Packers' chances are, Pat, in the NFC, as there's not really a clear favorite right now.
Well, I think if you really look at Aaron Rodgers, what you got to remember is Mahomes is what, 24, 25, 23? Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers is what, 38? You're talking almost a half a generation playing in the NFL. And we're not talking biscuits here. That's a lot when you're that much. And he's still outperforming these kids. He's like a man amongst boys, literally a man amongst boys. But you play as a team, and it's not just the quarterback. And losing, obviously, like you said, losing Bakhtiari is huge. But their line has stepped up through and through. So, we'll see. You saw how Tennessee played in Green Bay. Can these teams come to the frozen tundra and play in December? Or January, and that's the question.
Pat, I want to ask you an important question here. A lot of Packers fans or a lot of media pundits have said that Green Bay over the years has wasted Aaron Rodgers' talent due to the fact that the Packers have only won 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. As a Packers fan or knowing other Packers fans, do you agree with that comment? And if not, or if yes, what are your thoughts on the Packers? They make the playoffs consistently. Sometimes they win a playoff game or 2, but they've only got that 1 Super Bowl appearance as Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. That's got to be a little bit disappointing.
Well, if you remember what happened with Seattle and the onside kick and all that whole, I don't know if I can swear on this, but BS on that whole bullshit Seattle thing. That just went back to Mike McCarthy, and we all know how I feel about Mike McCarthy. And that guy could be the worst. He shouldn't be coaching in a high school, on a high school team. He shouldn't be the special teams coach on a high school team. That's how bad of a coach he is. This guy is clueless. And how Jerry Jones picked this guy out of, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they wasted a lot of him. They wasted a lot of talent. They wasted, he's one of the most accurate passers. He's passed for yards. He's passed for, I looked this up the other day. Believe it or not, he's been in the league 15 years. He has 88 interceptions. Think about that. 88 interceptions.
He doesn't turn the ball over. That's
he does. He just doesn't. He doesn't throw it into triple coverage. He doesn't throw, and I think probably 10 or 12 of those were probably Hail Marys that got picked off. And so you have to realize how solid. Listen, let's face it, the Packers have been lucky. They've had Brett Favre since 91, and then they turned the ball over to Aaron Rodgers in 2007. And so you have this 30-year run of 2 quarterbacks. Yes, there have been injuries and there have been fill-ins and there have been games off and Matt Flynn for a while. But overall, we've had 2 quarterbacks in the last 30 years. I want you to tell me, maybe other than even New England, nobody has had that precedent in the last 30 years. Nobody.
That's Patrick Linder, avid Milwaukee sports fan, Packers fan, Bucks fan. Pat, stick around for a minute. We've got to finish up our pick segment here. Spence, jump back on, and we'll talk some more sports as we're finishing up the last edition of the Rest Stop here in 2020. If you're just joining us, jump on. You got 10 minutes left. Shoot us your email. Jump on the show live. We can have everybody. We'll jump everybody on. Signing us off to the new year. Me and Spencer the Wiz give out our picks against the NFL spread every single Thursday. We're finishing up week 17. Spence, who did you say you like? Did you say you like Green Bay or Chicago? Packers, 5.5-point favorites in Soldier Field.
I'm not a Trubisky believer, so I think the Packers win this game quite handily. If the Packers had nothing to play for, I think they'd still beat them because that's just the Chicago Bears matchup that everyone knows and loves.
Well, listen to the show, Spence. You can affirm this. I am on the Mitchell Trubisky train. I'm one of few. I am a believer in Mitch Trubisky, even though many people jumped off that train long time ago. I did say that they would have to blow up the entire organization, Trubisky included, if they lost to the Houston Texans 3 weeks ago. They have not lost the game since. They've won 3 since then. So there you go. I'm going to still go Packers in this game because I think the Packers are that much better. I don't think Mitch loses it for him. We'll have to wait and see. Spence, we got to fly through the rest of these as we've had quite the interesting finish to the show as people are starting to jump on here now late. Tennessee Titans, AFC South. They're traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans, 7.5-point dog. They've been one of your teams that you've thought as a dumpster fire this whole year, Spence.
Yeah, they're an absolutely garbage team. It scares me because it's a divisional matchup. I hate divisional games, especially when any divisional game that includes the Houston is awful. But I think Tennessee is actually going to be playing with a lot of grit in this game. They got embarrassed on national television against a team a lot of people put money on for them to beat. I don't think they're going to get embarrassed twice. So I'm going to take Tennessee.
I'm with you. I'm going to go Tennessee, even though 7 and a hook. I don't like laying. I'm going to do it. Next one, NFC South. New Orleans traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Panthers home, 6.5-point dogs. New Orleans still playing for something. Carolina got a nice win against the Washington football team. What are your thoughts, Spence?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I don't believe in the Saints just at all. I think they're just going to continue to roll this into the playoffs and get everyone as hyped as humanly possible to put as much money on them in the playoffs for them to lose in the second round. But I'm still going to take the Saints here. I think they get a very easy win.
I don't know why that number is 6.5. A little confusing to me on the road. That being said, I think something's a little fishy there. Give me Carolina plus 6.5. Next matchup, no Mahomes. Andy Reid's going to sit quite a few guys in Arrowhead as the Chargers travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chargers, a 3.5-point favorite here, Spence.
Yeah, I'll just give it to them. The Chargers can score points, and the more important part is that the Chiefs' defense is absolute garbage. If they had any semblance of a defense, I think Chad Henne or whoever you could insert name here could lead a victory over the Chargers on the spot, but it's not going to happen this week. Give me the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers also, minus the 3.5. Seattle traveling to San Francisco to take on the Niners. Looks like C.J. Beathard will get the start again. Seattle trying to wrap up the first overall seed. They need a little bit of help. San Francisco, that line was 6 last night. It's now 6.5. San Francisco's a dog. Seattle on the road. NFC West showdown. What are your thoughts, Spence?
I think there's going to be a little too much recency bias. And the 49ers just play so many good divisional games. But Seattle, I think, is taking this year very seriously. I know every team seems to take every year seriously, but for some reason it seems different for Seattle. They're my pick to go to the Super Bowl. They were my day one pick, and I actually still believe it. I'll take Seattle in this matchup.
I just think these NFC West matchups are way too close. What's up, Quan? 5'9", owner, operator of Guerrilla Sports Radio. You can check out their app. I was on there last night, and I had head coach Mike Tice on there, so shout out to Quan. Happy New Year to you, my man. We're inviting anybody. We've got about 6 minutes left, guys, till the New Year rings in here in Vegas. We will send you a link. Jump on the Rest Stop Live. Send me your email. Drop your email. You got 6 minutes left till we kick off the new year. We'll sign off the air. We'll go a couple minutes late today. And this is the last edition of the Rest Stop in 2020. We've got some guys on the On Deck Circle. I want to wish a happy new year to Quan, to Linder, to Bravo, everybody listening tonight. Quan's sports take is San Francisco's winning the Super Bowl next year. That's very possible, and I'll tell you why, because Kyle Shanahan is an excellent coach. George Kittle will be healthy. That defense will be healthy. Those running backs will be healthy. But what do they do at quarterback, Quan? Drop your email. Jump on the show right now. You got 5 minutes live and tell us who's going to be the quarterback of the Niners next year. If you don't want to jump in, tell us in the chat because you need a quarterback, and everybody's saying it's not going to be Jimmy G. So that's the question mark for San Francisco. Do they trade for Kirk Cousins? I say yes. That's my hot take. The Niners trade for Kirk Cousins next year, and they go to the NFC divisional game, and then they lose. Next game, Spence, the Raiders. Your Raiders travel to Denver to take on the Broncos at Mile High. The Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite.
They're going to lose. I don't have to really go that far into it. The Raiders are one of the worst teams in football. They always seem to want to lose the last game of the year, too. Just like last year, it'll be the same spot. They'll lose exactly the way they did last year.
I think getting in under the wire, Spence, if you can. I think I see C-Win over there Throw them in the mix. We got 2 games left. C-Win.
What's up, guys?
You got in under the wire, my brother. What's your hot sports take for 2021? Give it to us.
Hot sports take for 2021 is that I don't even know why they're playing the college football playoff, because Alabama is just going to take care of business. I don't know why they're playing it. Notre Dame, pretty much, there's all kinds of reasons why we can say that Notre Dame isn't a team that shouldn't be even in the Final Four. And the other matchup, look, as much as you want to think that Ohio State has an opportunity, we all know about the history between these two teams, especially playing in big time games late in the season. So it looks like it's pretty much going to be pegged for another Clemson Alabama matchup in the national championship game, and having a chance to see what the Crimson Tide's been able to do all year, and kind of the sporadic opportunities that Clemson has taken advantage of. Obviously, everybody knows about the loss, against Notre Dame early in the season without Lawrence, as the signal caller there. So I don't think a lot of people really expect Clemson is going to be that team that can give Alabama trouble. So I think that it's going to be another situation where we have Nick Saban and the boys from Tuscaloosa grabbing another national championship.
C-Win, real quick, my hot sports take, I gave a few of them. Quan59 jumped in. He says the Niners are winning the Super Bowl next year. My thought to that was that's a possibility because they're going to be healthy next year. You're going to have Kittle back, which he was back last week. That defense is going to be healthier. But my only question is, what do they do at quarterback? Because a lot of grumblings is Jimmy G, even though he may be healthy, may not be the guy. My hot take, C-Win, is the Niners trade for your guy, Kirk Cousins, and that gets the Niners over the hump. I don't know if they get to the Super Bowl, but they get back in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that? We only got a few minutes, so real quick.
Well, that's interesting, Brad. Kirk Cousins playing up there for your Minnesota Vikings up there. But
my former Minnesota Vikings fan.
Yeah, former Minnesota Vikings fan. Look, how many times in the last 4 or 5 years have we been talking about Kirk Cousins going to a team and him being one of those pieces that can get them over the hump? We've been talking about it a lot. It's not really a thing. Obviously, I'm a Michigan State guy, so I am a huge proponent of the guy personally as a human being. I love the guy, and I do think that he is somebody that is a starting quarterback in the NFL. I just don't think he's elite. I don't think he's somebody that necessarily is going to lead somebody to the Super Bowl. Now, I mean, going to San Francisco, is Jimmy Garoppolo just garbage? I mean, I don't understand why going to the Niners would be something that would be a possibility. I mean, I could be wrong, but I still think Jimmy Garoppolo is thought of as the guy there.
I mean, I agree with you, but I don't know if everybody else agrees with you. So we'll have to wait and see. C-Win, we've got to wrap up our pick segment. Stick around if you want. We're going to hang out a couple more minutes, and we're going to get everybody blasted into the new year here on the Rest Stop, the last edition of 2020, Spence. It's getting fired up right now towards the end. What are your thoughts, Spence? Hurry.
Jimmy G is a Kroger brand version of Derek Carr, and that's not saying much at all. That's what I think of Jimmy G.
Bravo's right. The ratings side are off the hook, but we got 2 more games in our picks segment, Spence. The Arizona Cardinals travel to SoFi to take on the Rams. The Rams can find themselves in an awkward position. The Cardinals, they lose, they could be out. They are out because Chicago holds the tie with them there. Jared Goff out with thumb surgery. Cooper Kupp, COVID, he's out. Who gets to start for the Rams? John Wolford, played at Wake Forest. I think this guy has a good game, gets the Rams the win, and there's grumblings amongst Rams fans if Jared Goff is healthy enough to start their first playoff game. I think there's quarterback controversy talk after this Week 17 game, and the Rams go out and knock the Cardinals out of the playoffs.
I think you just like controversy too much, especially if Kyler Murray still has a chance to play that game. There's no way they're going to cover any sort of spread. I'm going to take the Cardinals here, whatever it is.
I'm taking the Rams, and I want you to clip this as Wolford leads them to victory, and then Goff isn't ready to play next week, and the Rams have to rely on Wolford to win a playoff game. So take
your
that.
Picks are just narrative. They push your narrative.
Take my Cleveland Browns spot where I say that they're going to implode and not make the playoffs, and then we finish off Sunday night in Philly, the Washington football team, it looks like Alex Smith, he had full day of practice today. He may get to start. Backing him up, former Viking practice squad player, former Old Dominion quarterback Taylor Heineke. The Eagles, that line has moved to 2. The Eagles are a 2-point underdog to the Washington football team. I say the Eagles have some pride. They get the win on the money line.
Yeah, I think so too. If anyone's going to ruin a team, and any team that's playing decent football for the time being, I think for sure it's going to be them. So I'll take the Eagles with you there, and I think the Cowboys actually find a way to make the playoffs somehow.
Well, guys, that wraps up our Pick 7 Week 17. And as we send off the rest stop in the new year in 2021, I want to thank Brian Bravo, Patrick Linder, Victor Cervantes, and C. Wynn as we're signing off the rest stop 2020. Happy New Year, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the rest stop. We're going to have a great new exciting stuff coming to the show in 2021. And I appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
I'll be in this time next year.
Make it a tradition.
All right. What do you got to say, fellas? Last words. Bravo.
Jared Goff to the 49ers.
Happy New Year. I love you guys. Hey, Wiz.
Happy New Year,
I'll
fellas.
see you tomorrow.
What are we doing
there's
tomorrow?
I was trying to hear because we had a little like weird audio going on with that in there.
I know. I've got so many guys. Happy New Year, C-Win.
Happy New Year to you guys.
All right, brother.
Yep.
All right,
Happy
for
New Year,
Spencer the
guys.
Wins, for Brad the Believer, we are sending you off. It is now 2021 here in Las Vegas. The East Coast has already spit it. Cheers to you, gentlemen. Rest off, signing off. We'll see you in 2021 next Tuesday.